Okay, hold on, please. Do you believe the other employees that signed this letter were pressured to do so?
The ones on the letter that was just previously presented, I don't exactly know if they felt the same way, if they were pressured or just did it themselves.
Okay. Did you ever hear of Miss Altendorf going to other people and asking them to write letters?
I was aware of the fact that there were other people within Germantown that also did have to write a letter.
Okay, and were they writing letters about Mr. Erickson or something else?
Correct, about Mr. Erickson.
How did you come across that information, just generally speaking?
So when I had to sign the letter, we were at the time, some of us within the department, we at least had, a few of us had, were basically like good friends, work friends, and just thought that was kind of, lack of better words, kind of weird in the sense that we had to come up with a letter and that we didn't know exactly which way to have to go with, letter wise. And there were several other people that at that time we found out that also were writing letters.
Did you feel that just based on your knowledge and experience, that Miss Altendorf was going after Mr. Erickson?
Correct, yes.
Okay. And then at any time after you resigned, did Miss Altendorf contact you?
She contacted me about a week after I had left Germantown.
Okay, and what was the basis of that conversation, if any?
More or less to the extent that the stuff that I initially had heard from Germantown was incorrect, not true, and that I shouldn't believe everything that I had heard that was going on with Germantown at that point.
Okay, and I guess did you feel at any time that Miss Altendorf's statements conflicted with reality?
I'm not positively sure.
Okay, based on what you understood and experienced, did you believe that her description of how things really were in Germantown was accurate?
That would be no.
Okay. All right. Well, sir, I thank you for your time. I know you've been anxious to testify, and we certainly appreciate it.
Okay.
All right, hold on, Mr. Lenz. So, Attorney Pollard, do you have any cross-examination?
Yes, thank you, Judge. Mr. Lenz, you indicated that you left the district because you felt that your job may be on the line. Is that correct?
Yes.
What led you to believe that your job might be on the line?
There was an individual that was still working within district office that I had found out that there was talk within district office that my job was potentially on the line with another two individuals, which then led me to believe that my job was on the line whatsoever.
Okay. Did you ever receive anything in writing from the district related to your performance or indicating that your job was in jeopardy?
No.
Are you referring to a potential outsourcing of any part of the maintenance department? Is that what you're talking about?
No, it was more or less that there was myself along with two other people that were more or less targeted as potential people to be let go from their position.
Okay. So what was your title as an employee at the district?
Maintenance assistant.
As a maintenance assistant, was Don Erickson your direct supervisor?
Yes, correct.
How did you like working with Don?
I relatively had really no issues working with Don while I was still employed within the district.
Okay. I thought you said something previously about a lack of communication coming from Don. Did I mishear that?
That was part of the letter that I had signed for the five of us that had signed that letter.
And so again, you're, I guess, why did you sign this letter?
More or less because I felt that my job was on the line if I did not sign the letter about Don Erickson.
Why? What led you
I
to believe
felt-
that?
More or less, I felt intimidated that I had to sign it because Brittany came and had asked us if we could do a letter in regards to Don.
Who drafted this letter?
Lars Neski.
Okay. And what was Lars's position with the district?
Maintenance district wide.
Okay. In going back to exhibit R2. See if I can pull it up. Oh boy. Can you see what I have up on my screen now?
Correct, yes.
So is this the letter that you signed dated May 28, 2021?
Correct, yes.
It reads to Brett Stelson and Brittany Altendorf. I guess if you go ahead and well, let me walk through this. So it says this letter is from the desks of all the frontline maintenance grounds workers for Germantown School District. The intent of this letter is to share our experiences and concerns about the past, present, and future management of the department. Do you agree that that's the intent of this letter?
I mean, there's partial, I guess, partial truth to that.
Okay. The next sentence reads, it is known we have all been hired on after the completion of the last referendum and have been placed in a position to repair and maintain the buildings and grounds facilities. Is that a truthful statement?
I would have to disagree with that
Why?
because I was on during a portion of the referendum. I was actually there prior to completion of the referendum within that district.
Okay. The next sentence reads, upon hire, we have all witnessed the lack of preventative maintenance and organization within this department. Is that truthful?
In terms of like preventive maintenance, it would have been whatever like work orders that we would have received would have been fit to my job title. So I don't know what other tasks that would have been presented if that stuff would have been submitted to other people within that department.
Well, I'm just asking, did you witness a lack of preventative maintenance within your department?
To a degree.
Okay. The next sentence reads, we have received little guidance from our director and have seen very little, if any, detailed information regarding general preventative procedures for the buildings and properties. Is that a true statement?
I would have to disagree with that.
Why?
Because the tasks that would have been initially assigned, if I would have had whatever questions regarding whatever task situation that I was doing, if I was unsure about something, I would have asked Don for information further to complete those tasks.
Don's the director, right?
Correct, yes.
So I mean, this sentence is saying you received little guidance from Don and have received very little detailed information regarding general preventative procedures. I mean, isn't that attacking Don?
I wouldn't yeah. I mean the whole letter in itself, yes, but not sure that exact sentence would have been.
But so you signed this letter that was discrediting one of your coworkers, even though you felt it wasn't true?
Correct.
Okay. Next sentence says, we have taken it upon ourselves to write this letter to inform you of the situation. Is that true?
That would have been the letter. Like I said, the letter itself was written by Lars and was presented to us. So that
Let me ask you this. Who presented you with the letter?
Lars Neski.
Okay. What did he tell you when he presented this to you?
It was he initially read through the letter to us, and even though I did not necessarily 100% agree with it, I felt at that time that job was being jeopardized in terms of having to sign it. If I didn't sign it, I figured that my job was going to be eliminated, or that I was going to be let go.
Okay, but did you have any concern that if you did sign it, perhaps Mr. Erickson's job would be eliminated or he would be let go?
I was fully aware of the possibility that he may have been let go due to the letter.
But that didn't stop you from signing it?
At the time, no, because like I said, I felt that I was under pressure to have to sign something that I did not necessarily totally 100% agree with.
I'm trying to understand why you felt you were under pressure. I mean, did Mr. Lars, did he say, if you don't sign this, you're going to be let go?
It was going back to Brittany Allendorf was the one that had us instructed to have to come up with a letter to target Don Erickson, which ultimately was let go of the district, and would have been something that after everything had happened, it was something that I did not necessarily had wanted to and regretted having to go through and sign it.
Why did you believe that Brittany Altendorf was going after Don Erickson?
I have no idea of what her motive would have been to go after Don Erickson.
Did you ever observe any deficiencies in Don's performance?
Not that I was aware of.
Okay, so all these statements in this letter that you signed are untrue, is what you're saying.
In my opinion, yes.
When did you leave your employment with the district?
It was August of 2022.
Okay. At any point between May 21, 2021, May 28, 2021, when you signed this letter, and I guess at any point after, did you ever contact Dr. Stouslin or Brittany Altendorf and say, hey, you know what? Everything I said in that letter was not true?
No, I did not.
Why not?
Because at that point I was already out of the district.
Well, I'm saying at any point from May 28, 2021 until you left more than a year later.
I did not contact them because Brett Stolzlin was already out of the district, and that would have only been Brittany Allendorf would have been the only one left.
Do you know when Don Erickson ended his employment with the district?
I believe that may have been May or June of 2022.
Do you know why Don Erickson ended his appointment with the district?
I have no idea why.
Okay. Were you ever aware of Don Erickson filing a wage complaint with the district?
I was not aware of it.
Did you have any reason whatsoever to believe that Don Erickson intended to file a wage complaint with the district?
Yet again, was not aware of it.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Lenz. Those are my questions.
Any redirect?
I've got one redirect. I do. Mr. Lenz, my final question is this: when did you start looking for another job?
That would have been shortly before Don Erickson had left employment with Germantown School District.
Okay. And did you believe he was about to leave at that time?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Any recross, Attorney Pollard?
No, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lenz. You're free to go.
All right, thank you.
Whoever wants to go first. Okay.
We'll do Belky.
Uh-huh.
He's the contractor.
So, is that how you pronounce it? I believe it's Belky. Yeah. We're going to call Mr. Belky, and we'll be calling him now. Do we want to take a few-minute comfort break here, Judge?
Sure. Why don't we take till 2:15? Does that work for everybody?
Thank you.
That'd be fine.
2:07.
Oh.
All right, we're back on the record to hear the case of Donald Erickson v. Germantown School District. It's CR 2022011311. This, I believe, is part 4 of the recording, and we are going to continue with the complainant's case in chief. Attorney Hitchcock-Cross, go ahead and formally call your witness.
Thank you. The complainant calls Mr. Belky.
All right, good afternoon, Mr. Belky. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. So my name is Joseph Surge. I'm the administrative law judge hearing this case. If you could do me a favor and raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You can go ahead and put your hand down. Can you please state your name and spell it for the record?
Jason Belky, JSONBOEHLKE.
All right. And so the way this will work is in a moment, I'm going to turn you over as a witness to Attorney Hitchcock-Cross. He'll start with questions. Once he's done, then Attorney Pollard will have a chance to ask you any questions on cross-examination. And then the attorneys can go back and forth until we've exhausted questioning. Before we do that, though, is there anybody else in the room with you?
My dog.
Okay.
No objection, Judge.
No objection.
All right. And do you have any documents or anything related to this case in front of you?
I do not.
All right. Thank you. Go ahead, Attorney Hitchcock-Cross.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Belky. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Fantastic. Did you ever work for the Germantown School District?
I did. Yes.
Okay. And when was the last time you worked there?
Would that have probably been 2021 or 2022, somewhere in there, whenever it was. I don't remember. Right when all this stuff was going down, pretty much.
Okay. Well, the complainant sitting next. I'm sorry. Is there a delay?
No, I can hear you. I'm just fine.
Yeah, so Attorney Hitchcock-Cross, unfortunately, I think the lag is on your line because I notice your video breaks up a little bit. Everyone else's seems to be all right.
I'm going to leave and come back in because it kept being a problem. I think will that
All
be
right,
okay?
then we will go off the record.
I'm sorry, Judge. But, okay.
No.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Do you need to say part 5 or anything?
Yeah, I just want to note the appearances remain the same. We are on part 5 of Erickson v. Germantown School District. Mr. Belky, I realize I just swore you in, but you are still under oath now that we're back on the record.
Yep.
Go ahead, Attorney Hitchcock-Cross.
All right. I apologize to everybody. Thank you very much. So we are, was there a time that you ceased being an employee and you started having a different relationship with the district?
No, I don't even know what that means.
Do you perform contractor work for the district anytime?
Yeah, I don't know what other kind of relationship I would have with the district. I was just a subcontractor, I would say.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe I misunderstood you. You were never employed.
No, I was never employed by the district.
So, okay. So that's entirely my confusion then. So, but then you worked, or I guess, do you know Mr. Erickson?
Yeah,
Do
just
that work with Germantown?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. And what work, I guess, contracted did you perform for the district?
It would be asphalt work and concrete work.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
everything.
what role did Mr. Erickson have, if any, with regard to the work that you did?
We would submit estimates, and if we were awarded the work, we'd do the work and do it to their standards and or our standards. Be done.
Okay, I understand. And based on that relationship and knowledge, do you have any belief about Mr. Erickson as a worker for the Germantown School District?
Yeah, he was a worker for the district. Yes.
Do you believe he did a good job?
Yeah, I thought he was one of the best like point people that I worked with in my 27 years of having the company.
Okay. And just as speaking in regards to you, Mr. Erickson, and your relationship as a contractor, were there any problems in terms of working with you as a contractor?
No, if there was ever anything that came up, we would act on it right away, rectify it, whatever it was, right? If someone drove through sealer or if we missed a crack or something, he would notify us, and we would make sure it was done, taken care of.
Okay.
Striping, if that was messed up, whatever it was. So
I appreciate that. During your knowledge and experience working with Germantown, do you know any contracts for Germantown?
You sort of went in and out. Say it one more time.
Sure. Do you know of any other contractors that work for Germantown?
I think I lost something to Belky once, but otherwise, like, I'm not really in the, if I didn't get a job, I didn't really do a lot of research. So do I know anyone personally? Not really, no.
Okay. And another way to ask this question is, are you aware of any other contractors having any problems with Mr. Erickson as it relates to his working at Germantown?
Oh, no.
Okay. And do you know a Lars Neski?
Yeah, we actually were athletes against each other in high school. He's got an older brother that I wrestled against. Lars was a year younger, though, than me. So he went to Homestead and Grafton. So
you've known him for quite some.
Yeah, I'm 43. I've known him since I was 16 or 17. I know his dad.
I understand. Okay. And were you ever contacted by, let's put it another way. Do you have any information about Lars with regard to him writing any letters for or against Mr. Erickson?
Yeah, this was so long ago, but yeah, there was communication. I wasn't a part of any, what do you call it? Signature getting or anything like that, but.
Well, what do you mean by signature getting?
I heard there was something where he was trying to get signatures or something against Don. I don't, just through the grapevine, I heard that, but no, I didn't see any letters from Lars. So no, I did not see a letter.
No. Okay. I got it. And did you hear about this from Lars directly or from someone?
Can't hear anything you're saying.
You broke up again.
I'm sorry, as frustrated as I am. Did you hear about the signature getting from Lars or from somebody else?
I believe it was from somebody else.
Okay.
So.
And do you know Miss Altendorf at all?
We had a conversation on the phone. I believe that was it. I've never seen her in real life.
And can you describe that one conversation that you had with her?
It was something after, I believe I sent like an email to her. It was just some things that were going on with Lars. You know, I think I stated some of the concerns I may have had with Lars, and you know, sort of what was going on, things that I had heard. I mean, again, this is like, what is it, 2.5 years ago?
Fair enough. But did you discuss the signature getting?
I don't remember that.
Okay.
I know. So, I mean,
I'll
I'll throw it out there. The things that I had heard from Lars is like Lars was going to be the next Don, right? He was going to take over for Don.
Great.
That something about Brittany was going to reprimand him for something, right? Lars is just going to sit back and do his job because he didn't like the way he was treated.
Okay, and do you know how Lars got that information?
I mean, just from the way that he made it sound, it was just from communication with Brittany.
Okay. So I understand during the one conversation you had with Brittany, did you, I guess to be fair, Miss Altendorf, did you discuss Mr. Erickson at all?
I believe we did.
Okay. And do you know about when that conversation took place? Or I guess someone, sorry.
I think it was 2021. I believe, I don't remember. Was it 2021 or 2022? It was sometime in fall after we had done some concrete work there.
Do you believe that Mr. Erickson was still employed by the district at that time?
100%, I believe he was at that time. Yeah.
Great. Okay. That's, I think, if you just give me 1 second here, I'll just confirm that I'm finished. Thank you, sir. I'm sure my colleague has some, but I'm not.
Thank you. Attorney Pollard, if you have any cross-examination, please go ahead.
Thank you. Is it Belky?
Yes.
Mr. Belky, you referenced that you heard Lars Neski was trying to get signatures. What are you referring to?
I thought it was something, was it something to try to get something against Don, right? It sounds like it was something to get him fired or whatever. There was obviously some headbutting going on there.
Who told you this?
I honestly, I don't remember. It could have been Lars. I mean, like I said, Lars and I went way back. Lars, with his dumpster business that he had, I bought dumpsters from him, or I rented dumpsters from him. So, I mean, I've known, like I said, him and his family a long time. So, again, we're going back 2.5 years. It's not something that was in the front of my brain.
Okay. Well, were you aware that Lars had concerns about Mr. Erickson's performance as the director of the Buildings and Grounds Department?
Yeah, he did express that to me, and I stuck up for Don because I thought Don was doing a great job from what I've dealt with. I don't have a personal relationship with Don at all. I've never seen him outside of work.
Was Don involved in the decision-making process for your bids?
I don't know that. I mean, he was the bid getter, I would say, but I mean, I think Brittany would know more to that. I think it's lowest bid wins. As far as I know, you guys Germantown would get a certain amount of bids, and whoever gets it, gets it. I didn't get every proposal. I know that.
You worked with the district through the tenure of Don's employment. Is that correct?
Yes.
When was, and I apologize if you answered this, but do you recall approximately the last time you did any work for the district?
I thought it was 2021. but I'm not. So I could try to go through records to figure that out, but I sold my company a year ago in a week. So
Did you ever have any conversation with Don Erickson related to alleged overtime or wage violations at the district?
Let's
Mr.
see, I
Belky?
just don't. I'm just thinking right now. I don't recall having those conversations.
Did you ever have any belief whatsoever that Mr. Erickson intended to file a complaint with the Department of Workforce Development against the district?
I mean, I got a call from an attorney. I mean, what I found out a couple days ago that this was going on.
So prior to that, did you have any reason to believe that Mr. Erickson would be filing a wage complaint against the district?
No, I had no idea. I have not had communication with.
Okay, 1 second. All right, thank you, Mr. Belky. I don't have any other questions.
Any redirect, Attorney Hitchcock Cross?
No, thank you.
All right, Mr. Belky, thank you for your time. You are free to go.
All right.
So we're gonna call Lars next. I blanked on his last name. We're calling him now.
All right, now I'll take that as the formal, you formally calling your witness. So we'll jump right into swearing him in as soon as he joins.
You're the only I've had.
Sorry,
I'm perfectly
you're
adapt to
breaking
it. I
up
just
quite a
never had
bit
that.
there. You broke up.
We
quite
sure
a
it's
bit
me?
there. It's
okay.
only your video that continues to break up, unfortunately.
Okay. Well, my plan then is I'll disconnect our video when I'm not engaging with the witness, and hopefully that'll make things at least better then.
And that's usually the course that works the best, is to go off video and just go with audio.
Okay. Oh. It's yeah, I'm on I'm not plugged in. I think that's why. That's why.
Brought one in, but it's way too short.
It's way too short, yeah. Okay. I mean, we'll see. All right, well, and we know what the problem is for tomorrow.
So we can put him on delay if he wants to hang out. Well, I can call Winthrop if you want.
Okay, I need you to call her now. Okay. Oh, sorry. So we are in contact with Lars. Again, I blanked on the last name. He was possibly receptive to going later. Oh, here he is.
He just popped in.
He's on. He's on. Okay.
Hear me?
Yes, is that you, Mr. Neski?
Yeah, I'm at the swimming pool with my 7-year-old and my 6-year-old, and I was late for an appointment this morning, and I pulled over and I skipped. I walked out of breakfast with my kids this morning to handle this, and you guys showed up last night at my house at 8:30 last night to tell me about something today. So you guys have to have a pretty good excuse to not give me more notification than 12 hours and expect me to stop what I'm doing.
All right, hold on. We're currently on the record. So my name is Joseph Surge. I'm the administrative law judge. You've been called as a witness by the complainant. So I don't know anything that has gone on in terms of any of that. So none of that has been brought to my attention.
Sure. If we can, I can possibly propose a solution here. Mr. Neski, we are also hearing this case tomorrow. I can put you on for, if you want to go first at say 9:30 tomorrow, if that will work for you. I'm perfectly flexible with that. Mr. Neski, are you there? Will that work for you?
Mr. Neski, can you hear us?
Hi there. So, Mr. Neski, I see that you're on mute. The solution that I'm proposing here is for you to testify first thing in the morning tomorrow at 9:30. Will that time work for you?
Can I just go somewhere and meet with you guys? Like, I'm with my family and kids at the pool. I don't even want to be involved in any of this.
I understand. Right. So we can do it now if that's your preference. We can do it at some other time.
Here,
and
kids sit in the car. I got to go talk to these adults that can't cooperate. Oh. Walking away from the car right now in a parking lot.
Okay.
Where I can see my kids.
Great.
Want me to put a shirt on?
I'm not going to require you to do anything. You know you're taking time out of your day, Mr. Neski, and I appreciate that. All right. So as I said, I'm the administrative law judge hearing this case. So the first thing I want to do is swear you in. Can you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
So help me God.
All right, thank you. You can put your hand down. Can you state your name and spell it for the record? What's that, Mr. Neski?
Neski, Neske, January 31st, 1985.
All right, and I'm assuming that you obviously don't have anything related to this case in front of you.
No, I'm at the pool with my kids.
Understood. All right, go ahead, Attorney Hitchcock-Cross.
2.5 and 3 years ago.
You hear me, Mr. Neski?
Yep.
Yeah, apparently my connection could be better. So if you can't hear me, just let me know. Did you ever work for the Germantown School District?
Sure did.
When was that?
Man, to the best of my knowledge, I don't have a calendar in front of me. I want to say I quit about 2.5, 3 years ago, and I worked there for maybe 1.5 years, maybe 2. But I'm sure you guys can look up the records, and I'm sure the school district has all that information.
Okay. Do you know Don Erickson?
I do. He was my.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Okay, you were anticipating my next question, which I'll just say it out loud, which is how did you know him at Germantown?
Director of Buildings and Maintenance.
Did he supervise you?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know Brittany Altendorf?
Yes.
What was her position at Germantown while you worked there?
Business manager. She was our boss. She was over Don. So in my recollection, it would go superintendent, then Brittany, then Don. So my
Great.
primary boss was Brett Southland, I think. And then my boss was Brittany. And then my boss was Don.
Great. When was the last time you communicated with Brittany Altendorf?
Last night after I was served a subpoena because I didn't want to get a subpoena, and I found out that she didn't subpoena me, Don subpoenaed me.
Okay. Did you discuss anything else at that time?
Not that I can recollect.
Okay.
I mean, I said I didn't want to be subpoenaed. And she said, just tell the truth. Here I am.
Okay. Is there a reason you called Miss Altendorf after receiving a subpoena in this case?
Because the Germantown School District was going to subpoena me, and I didn't want to be subpoenaed. I quit 2.5, 3 years ago. As far as I'm concerned, none of this concerns me.
Oh, why do you feel that none of this concerns you?
Because I quit before Don. When I quit, everyone was still working there.
Why did you quit?
I have a business I run myself.
Okay, how does that answer my question?
Well, I was working a lot of hours. I decided to leave and run my own business. I really don't know why did I quit. I mean, man, there's a lot of different reasons why I quit. One, I've always wanted to be my own boss. Two, I guess, they promoted me to a maintenance supervisor role, and I decided to step down from that because I didn't want to be associated with Don. I didn't, and the stress and the monetary. I actually stepped down before I even know what kind of monetary gain I would get. So.
Okay, and just if I can back you up, you said you were promoted?
Well, yeah, but not, I guess, promoted and not promoted, because I was a regular maintenance person, and Don and Brittany both decided to make me maintenance supervisor, so I was in charge of the maintenance department. That being said, they decided that they were going to put me in that role for a while and then discuss my wages down the road. And after being in that position, I decided to step down because the stress wasn't worth it. I didn't want to be in that position with the stress. And,
Okay, what was causing you stress in that position?
So before the referendum, I feel like there was a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff going on at the district. I mean, they got rid of all the custodians, and they outsourced the custodians. Why? I don't really know. Was it a budget thing? I don't really know. Don, he had a whole new maintenance team, and all the older people that were there, all the maintenance people left. So if I was getting flat, and Don felt like he was going to lose his job, and Billy Joe thought they were going to lose their job, we didn't want to be held accountable. We didn't want fingers pointed. If Don decided to quit, or just lost his job or whatever, I didn't want to be involved in anything. Don, there was a lot of things that I saw and found, and if I pointed it out, Don would get pissed. Don would blow up. Don would yell. I didn't need that stress. And then when I brought that stress up to the HR, all HR said, "Hey, you're not working for a Fortune 500 company." And I'm like, "Oh, you're not working for a Fortune 500 company. So if I have concerns about my boss being, rude or yelling or not being a boss, instead, he's been here longer than I have. You know what? I'll just go." So I go, I walk away, and now 2.5 years later, you call me up about this because he's got an issue that I don't know, did he get fired? Did he quit? I don't know. I thought I heard a year ago or 2 years ago or something. I don't know if I thought I heard he got fired. I don't know if I thought he quit. I don't know. You guys probably know. So can you tell me? Did he get fired or did he quit? That's how I quit. I walked away from a job. I never even found out what those wages were. Maybe if he was better at his job, maybe I'd still be there. I don't know. What do you want me to say?
When did Miss Altendorf about Mr. Erickson?
What was that?
When did you first go to Mr. Altendorf about your concerns about Mr. Erickson?
I have no idea. The whole maintenance department wrote a letter. Is there a date on that letter?
Absolutely.
There you go.
I'd be happy to share that with you. Okay, and just to be clear, the whole maintenance department wrote this letter?
If you could send me the letter and I could see the signatures, I could answer that. Or if you want to read it off.
It'll be on. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, I'm talking over you. So do you see this document here? It says, again, just for the record, we're at C2, Complainants Exhibit 2. Do you see that?
I can't see anything. I see it. My main screen says BC on it. There's
me, all right.
Can you just read me?
Anybody else?
Now I can see
the
exhibits on
May
the screen.
28, 2000.
All right. Can you scroll down?
Absolutely.